Hi, and welcome to another episode of Prindiville. And in this episode, we are going to be joined by the lovely Joanne. How are you feeling?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good.
Good.
I don't know whether you know, but I become homeless just after losing my business in around about 2018, 2019.
Homeless. So
Homeless, yeah.
how did that come about?
Listen, it was a shock to me. It was a shock to me.
That's a big shock.
It was a shock to me. I went from having electric gates, 3 Ferraris on the drive and everything to all of a sudden absolutely a couple of black bags and nothing but not even a bus fare. So basically what happened to me was I lost my money and ended up everybody that I knew ran away from me. I literally went from having loads of support and friends and a network and a business and, you know, everybody was blowing smoke up my arse to it all went crash, bang, wallop. And within a period of about 3 months, I literally had bailiffs banging the door down and I was evicted with my kids. And I stopped seeing my kids at that point because my missus, you know, got the hump with me because I couldn't financially afford to support everybody, and it all just spirals into chaos. So effectively, what happened to me was I went through the whole homeless situation. I went through realizing that I couldn't pay my rent, through going through the whole situation with bailiffs. I then went and engaged with the local council, explained to them that I'd lost my job, I'd lost my business. At that point, they laughed at me because they were going, look how much money was in your bank account a couple of months ago. I said, yeah, but that's just the way it is. So I went into the job centre and it was just I said, oh, hi, I'm just, you know, I'm in a bit of a situation, lost my business. Oh, well, let me have a look at your bank account. Well, we can't help you. You've got too much money in your bank. I said, well, there's no money in the bank account now. And this woman just sort of laughed at me as if to say, what are you doing here? So first of all, you're met with civil servants who've got no interest in your claim or your situation or listening to what's happened to you. So I went through the whole housing thing, went into them, explained to them that I lost my business and I was in trouble. Filled out a load of forms with this geezer, right? He said to me, once you've been made homeless and the bailiffs have come round, then you come here with your bags and we'll put you in emergency housing, you and your kids. So I was like, okay, right. Anyway, bailiffs finally come round, threw me out of the house, took all my furniture. So I went to the local housing authority with 2 black bags, me and Bo, my 13-year-old kid at the time, and walked into the offices. Now, bearing in mind, I'd been dealing with a geezer there for about maybe 6 weeks. And although I'm illiterate, I'm not an idiot. Every conversation I documented, I'd been speaking to the guy. I knew what I was doing. He told me, look, this is the situation. Once you get thrown out, you come here with the piece of paper and prove to me that you've been made homeless and I will put you in emergency housing. All right, mate, lovely stuff. Okay, cool. Situation works. So I've got thrown out of the house. I've then got into the car and drove round to the local council offices where I'm going to be emergency housed, as the geezer said. Walked in, said, took a ticket, waited for whatever his name is. Anyway, went into the little cubicle, said, oh, look, here is the letter, everything's done. And he looked down, he looked at it, he went, oh, yeah, you haven't quite filled this out quite correctly. You got a few things wrong. Bearing in mind, I can't read and write. He's the one that's filled everything out. Yeah, you'll have to come back. I went, come back where? I said, no, look through that, like we're in a glass box now. I said, like my kid's sitting out, Skinseer, just sitting out there. That's that little girl there with 2 black bags. I said, that's it, we're in now. There is nowhere to go. And he went, no, like smirked at me and said, no, you'll have to come back. You ain't got this completely right. And I said, mate, let me explain something to you. I've just been thrown out. I'm a bit volatile. I'm on this ADHD tablet stuff. So half of the time I want to put my hand down your throat and rip your fucking tonsils out. Don't do this now with me. Please don't do this because I'm fucking at the point of I'm about to go bang.
Yeah.
And he got up and laughed and smirked. So I said, oh, you come here. And threw the fucking table of chairs at him and barricaded him in this little glass box. Now I've got the geezer in the corner and I'm getting hold of him in here. The whole of the fucking, all of the security's come running out and bits and pieces all dragging me off. They've called the old bill. All of a sudden, 2 massive big old bills come steaming into the fucking council offices. By that time, I'm going, Carlo, I am trying to eat the geezer, man. I'm fucking going mad. Anyway, these old Bill were amazing, absolutely amazing. They come in, right? And they grabbed me up, pushed me, got me in the corner, pushed me down and said, "Oh, you, slow down, you. What's happening here? What's happening?" I said, "I'll tell you what's happening here, lads. I've fucking just been made homeless. I've been dealing with this geezer for 6 weeks. He's told me when this happens for you to come in here, and this is the process." I said, "So now I've just been made homeless. I've walked in here, and he's just laughed at me and told me to fuck off down the road because I've got the form wrong. I can't read and write. He's already, hey, whoa, what's happening? Old Bill said to me, "Look, what's happened?" I said, "Mate, let me explain something to you. Let me show you something. I'm telling you, this geezer's told me, come here, and this is what he's going to do. And I've got here, and he's fucking done a U-turn. Now, I've got nowhere to go, mate. I'm literally homeless. I've just lost my business. I've lost absolutely everything. I've lost my kids. I've got fuck all here." I said, "And this geezer is now trying to throw me out the house with my fucking kid. Where do you think we're going to go?" He went, "Slow down, mate, slow down. Let me get to the bottom of it." Anyway, he's gone back out and he said to the geezer, "Come here, you, mate." He sat down. He went, "So what do you want to happen now?" And he went, "He's attacked me. He's done this. He's done that." He said, "Did you tell him to come in here and you was going to sort him out of home?" And he went, "Yeah, but he hasn't got it right." He went, "Well, hold on. I'm reading this geezer's email trail here, and it clearly says from an email from you that this is the process. And once this happens, to come in here." And the policeman said, "Hold on. You want to arrest this man because you failed to house him after he's clearly got an agreement with you and he's in the right, and you want me now to arrest him and put his 13-year-old child into care because you have decided that you don't want to now house him?" And the geezer went, "What?" And the policeman said, "I'll tell you what we're going to do, mate. We're going to sit here and you're going to go in there and find him somewhere to live. Because what you are doing is blatant." And he was going, "He's hit me." They said, "We don't give a fuck about that. It's quite clear here that the geezer's in the right. And we ain't about to put this man and his kid into fucking home just because you ain't going to do your job." But these two geezers actually were two real policemen, walked in, looked at a situation and made a fucking judgment. And that little wormy arsehole had to then go and fucking house me. But what did he do? He sent me to the shittiest gaff. Anyway, I walked into this part of an house, and in the room next door, you had two geezers selling crack. And the next room behind me had two African brasses in there. This is where you put vulnerable people into situations with drug dealers and prostitutes. When I walked into this room, the fucking carpet was moving with bed bugs. The bed bugs were all over the gaff. I mean, there was the toilet there was a sink there. It looked like it was fucking worse than anything you've ever found in Bangladesh. But this was in Wembley.
That sounds awful.
Mental.
Absolutely disgusting. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. How long did you have to stay there for, and sort of what happened next?
Where was we? So we're in this gaff. I was in that one for about 6 months, had to sign in every day. You couldn't stay there, babe. You couldn't stay there. It was the most nastiest gaff you've ever been in your life. Luckily enough, a girlfriend at the time let me put a flat in her name. So then me and Bo managed to move out of Wembley, and we moved into a little tiny flat, and I started life again. But what I saw and what I witnessed was horrific. I witnessed corruption at every single level. Corruption from the time you walk into the job centre, corruption in the housing estate. This country is spending vast amounts of money trying to house people, but it's just completely wasted. And that's why fundamentally we need a restructuring of the housing situation in this country. And I fundamentally have seen it from grassroots development.
Were you able to sort of get yourself back on your feet? What kind of happened then?
Right, okay, so what happened was once I'd got a flat and managed to move into a beautiful flat, actually, with my new girlfriend, and my new girlfriend, and Bo at the time. I become quite spiritual at this time. Through the breakdown, I had started listening to Alan Watts, Deepak Chopra. I started doing a lot of meditation. I'd started doing some yoga. I was trying to manage drugs, ADHD, and the come down of losing my business. And, I was just trying to find ways of staying alive.
So you started to get yourself back on your feet. Yeah. And with the experience that you'd been through recently, previous to that, did you start to think, okay, right, how can I use the experience I've just had to maybe move forward with a business idea, or what happened with that?
Well, it basically, what I'd just gone through, through the homelessness thing, I found it to be so horrifically corrupt and actually damaging. Now, I've got 3 kids. I just imagine that one of my kids had gone through the situation I was and managed to get housed, and they put one of my daughters in that room with the 2 crackheads here and the 2 brasses there. My kids would have been prostitutes in no time. And I just thought, no, this can't go on like this.
No.
Somebody fundamentally has got to fucking sort this out, because this is dangerous. This is feeding into child sexuality and all just millions of things were wrong. And I just sat down and thought, right, this is my time now to come and bring value to the homeless community. I'm capable of actually making things happen. All my life, I get an idea and I fucking just go and do it. So I went downstairs and had a shower. And while I'm standing down in my bathroom downstairs, honestly, I had is it
like an epiphany?
I had an epiphany. I was standing in the shower, and I wouldn't say God spoke to me.
It was something spiritual.
I had a mad spiritual event downstairs, washing me willy in the shower. God said to me, get upstairs and go and get this sorted out. So I come upstairs and I said to my girlfriend at the time and Bo, right, you lot, listen, we're having a change up here. We're changing. I'm going back to work. We're going to start a company for key worker housing. I'm going to start building houses for these key workers, for the nurses, for the dustmen, for all of these people that keep this world going. So homelessness has shown me the great divide between the haves and the have-nots. I'm working class. I'm illiterate. I come from a working class council estate in central London. I ended up having my own helicopter, collection of Ferraris. Mate, there wasn't anything I haven't done and everything I haven't had and everything I didn't experience. So I'd gone from nothing to everything, back to nothing. And do you know what? I'm fucking so glad it happened to me, because I know what it's like to live on a single piece of bread, and I know what it's like to have a van full of bread. And let me tell you something, you don't need a van full of bread. We're all walking around driving ourselves mad about money and consumerism and this and that. I just drove myself most of my fucking life mad for the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. As soon as I bought it, I went on to the next thing. It didn't matter whether it was a Bang & Olufsen stereo, a car, a boat, a fucking house, a Rolex watch, an AP. I went through all the watches, all the cars, all the crap, every single bit of shit that you could sell me. I woke up and fucking drove myself mad. Now when I see these geezers with the bag, this label, that label, this, I look at them, I just think, fucking hell, boys, you're deep in the matrix.
So the idea and the plan for social housing sounds great. So where are you now with that?
Right, I'll tell you where I am now with that. I have, for the last 5 years, I've pulled together an amazing social housing company, and we have gone off and found sites that we've earmarked that we want to buy. And for the last 5 years, I've tried to fundraise to raise money for me to go out and build homes for key workers and emergency housing. And do you know there's not a single person, company, funding partner who's got any appetite for funding the poor? No. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. I have contacted in this country, there are, I think off the top of my head, about 150 charities that deal with housing, homelessness, people coming out of prison, all of these charities. And out of 120 charities, 2 of them come back to me. I had meetings with 2 of them. 2 of them only wanted to know how much money I was going to put into it. So I had meetings with people in their kitchen on Zoom that were paid to be working for a charity that had absolutely no interest in engaging with me in moving the needle or actually bringing any value to the problem. So now, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I have woken up. I'm out of the matrix. I am completely drug-free, alcohol-free. Turned my back on all of this nonsense. I can see the world as it is now, and I will spit it the way it should be spat. So life now is flourishing for me because I've fundamentally got the basics to move forward with. But if you are homeless, if you are hungry, and if you are on your own and unloved, it is extremely difficult to move forward. which is why I'd like to try and change the way that we're doing homelessness in this country. And it's about going back to a bit more of a social network where we build buildings, we put individuals in there, and you make sure that you've got the right mix in there. There's no point in people just having a load of geezers in there smoking weed and drinking tenants.
No.
That's not where it goes. So for me, really, I see the next generation, the next phase of what we're doing about managing people and actually bringing a benefit to their psychology.
Yeah.
And
taking the shame away from homelessness or being in that situation, because like you've said, it can happen to anyone. You know? Yeah. So the fact that we all look at being homeless as like, oh God, that's a terrible thing. It can happen to you. So let's take the shame away from it and put more energy into helping the situation instead of just, oh yeah, they're homeless. Yeah. Fucking treat them like a bit of shit.
Yeah, exactly. So when I say homelessness now, I mean, I'm disgusted in this country that we've got homelessness. Yeah. I'm disgusted in this country that we've got veterans and we've got people that were born into this country.
Human beings on the street.
Human beings, yeah. I mean, not the ones that we've got. I mean, we've got an epidemic now. I mean, if you go to Marble Arch, the end of the street here, go to Marble Arch, there are tents everywhere. It isn't acceptable to having people sleeping on the streets in tents. And it's strong men and women like us who have actually got to say, you know what, we're not happy with it. We don't accept it. We know it's wrong and we're going to call it out. And we've had enough of this now. Yeah. Enough is enough. Okay, well, this brings us to the end of this particular episode. Joanne, thank you so much for a lovely chat and a lovely conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did enjoy talking to you about this.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing it seems like some really difficult
times,
yeah. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. But also, a little birdie tells me that now, since you're in more of a stable place of living, you're a very good chef.
Well, mate, one of the things is when you find you have a kitchen, I've just fallen in love with cooking, actually. It's very, very relaxing and
quite therapeutic, they say.
Very, very.
And what's your signature dish? What have you been making recently?
Well, actually, I've been doing cauliflower. And I'll tell you what I've been doing. No. Chipper 3000. I bought a chipping machine. I'm making homemade chips, but are on the next level. I'm doing a lot of Greek sausages, a lot of barbecues. I'm doing quite a bit of marination. I'm actually, yesterday, what did I make yesterday? Yesterday I ended up with a no. Chicken goujon, special bits on the side, coleslaw. These don't sound all that, but a bit of beef bourguignon and everything else. I'm flying.
You're enjoying it, I can tell.
I fucking love it.
Look how your face lights up when you talk about food. Thank you so much.
Thank you.